Good afternoon to the bereaved family of the late Mrs. T. Ellen, our acting principal, Ms. N.E. Dube, our school governing body, colleagues from neighboring schools, staff and learners of Shawcross Primary. I greet you all. I'm Mrs. K. Naidu, and together with my colleague here, Ma'am S.M. Nkosi, we will take you through the program today. As is with all functions, we will commence by invoking the blessings of the Almighty. We call the family to the front to perform the invocation prayer. May we all rise. We are all gathered here this morning to remember someone who was so special to us all, Mrs. T. Ellen. It came as such a shock, like the sound of 1,000 thunders. We are here today to remember the little things that made such an impact in our hearts, to remember those happy times when we laughed, and those times when our hearts broke as one. For who could put a price on memories? We are here today to share the pain. Leading us in our tribute today will be our acting principal, Ms. N.E. Dube.
Thank you, program directors, to the honorable pastors and bishops that are here, esteemed principals of schools, colleagues from neighboring schools, union leadership present, Shawcross Primary School staff, and our retired colleagues. Greetings. A special greetings to the family of Mrs. T. Ellen, her friends and relatives. Standing before you is Ms. Dube, the acting principal of Shawcross Primary School. Ma'am T. Ellen was our colleague. Well, my colleague here, Mrs. K. Naidu, the program director, has informed us what we all hear about. And what she has shared is very true. Mrs. Thilagree Ellen joined Shawcross Primary School staff on the 21st of February in 2011. And as the a requirement from the Department of Education. It's that every staff member should have a file in a school where they serve. A file was indeed opened for Mrs. T. Ellen in 2011. To us at Sharp House Primary, Ma'am T. Ellen was not just a colleague. She was also a friend, a mentor, a counselor, a confidant. And by doing this memorial service, we do not mean to wake up the wounds that we understand they have not healed. But the purpose is to remember and respect all the good things that happened in Mrs. T. Ellen's life, as we had an opportunity to live and work together so that we can find forgiveness and healing in our souls. Mrs. T. Ellen was one of our best and experienced educators in teaching in the foundation phase. She exceedingly met all the requirements of teaching the grade 1 class. Mrs. T. Ellen was a woman of integrity, a kind and a humble lady. She was down on earth with regards to personality, always showing a beautiful smile that gives hope, that inspires confidence to us. She respected everyone, young and old. She also respected her work, and she skillfully transferred the necessary skills to all the learners she taught. With the rich experience and expertise in teaching learners in the foundation phase, she went on to effectively mentor student teachers and newly appointed teachers who joined the staff. All students assigned to her for teaching practice appraised her for her diligence, mentorship skills, and impeccable practice. Colleagues knew her as a helpful, dedicated, and cooperative educator who will go an extra mile when doing her work. Mrs. T. Ellen was deeply concerned with improving learner performance in school. She served in different structures and school committees. She was a member of the current school governing body as a teacher component. She initiated and implemented much in respect of performance management in the entire school as a secretary of the school development team. Mrs. T. Ellen was an inspiration to many. She loved her colleagues the same way. In her own quiet and calm manner, she showed how to work through challenging times and carry the grade 1 team colleagues along, and that will remember her. She faced challenges in her life, but remained responsible and committed to her work. Maybe if I was the one facing similar challenges that she did, I would have given up, and consequently my work would have deteriorated drastically. But that was not the case with Mrs. T. Ellen. Her professional work was her inspiration. The last formal conversation we had was on Tuesday, the 21st of, it was Wednesday, the 21st of January 2025, when she shared her concern about her health issues. We took time in the office and we prayed together. I then advised Mrs. T. to take a long leave, as it was going to benefit her health. She was adamant to take leave, as she said she was still waiting for the results from the doctor, and she cannot leave her learners without a teacher. She then said she will let me know what will happen after getting the results. Unfortunately, that was our last formal conversation. I did not hear about the results because I was still waiting. Death took our genuinely warm colleague. So as we close the file that was opened in 2011 at Shalkos Primary, we are going to remember the role that Mrs. T. Ellen played as an active member of the staff. All her valuable contributions to make a difference to the lives of our learners will remain. She left a real legacy that will affect the way we do things at Shalkos Primary School for a very long time. I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to the family, colleagues, and friends who supported her during her work life. Shalkos Primary School community and the Department of Education has lost a real asset and a student. When I was reading my Bible, I came across the verse that seemed to provide answers to many questions I had around Mrs. T. Ellen's passing. The book is found in Isaiah chapter 57, verse 1 to 2. And it reads thus: good people pass away. The godly often die before their time. But no one seems to care or wonder why. No one seems to understand that God is protecting them from the evil to come. For those who follow godly paths will rest in peace when they die. While I was reading this verse, I meditated a lot about Mem's life. So I am saying today to the family members of Mem T. Ellen, to the friends, relatives, neighbors, colleagues, learners, and all those who loved her and wished her well during the time of her living on earth, may we find comfort and peace in our hearts in knowing that Mrs. T. Ellen is now in a better place. We will deeply miss her. May her soul rest well in eternal peace.
Good morning to one and all. I'm Ms. S.N. Kosi. As you all know, we are here to remember and celebrate the life of Ma'am T. Ellen. It's our hope that every part of the service will honor a life lived among us. I am sure you would like to join me in saying to her family that we are in our thoughts and prayer because of your loss. This journey of grief is long, and those who walk it should not walk it alone. We want you, the family, to know that we are here as the Shallcross family.
We would like to call upon Nkanyezi Shabalala, who will deliver a touching speech to Ma'am T. Ellen.
A tribute to our beautiful Mrs. T.A. Resilient, wise, and a heart of pure gold are just a few words to best describe a wonderful soul. Mrs. T. Ellen was a dedicated teacher who always taught with compassion and impacted on the lives of every child she had crossed paths with. At 7 a.m., without fail, I'll be sure to see her at school. And like a ray of sunshine, her smile flickered across her face. With her radiant red lips, we salute a hard-working teacher. Even though your classroom may be empty without you, you will forever be in our hearts. Shallcross Primary has experienced a great loss, a true gem, if I may say. You will be dearly missed, Mrs. Ellen. May your humble soul rest in paradise. Thank you.
In times like these, nothing takes the place of family and friends. Your presence here today will help the family realize how valuable their loved one was to others and show what an impact she has made to others. We honor such a woman who has touched so many lives. We will stop to hear the stories, to laugh and cry together once again, and to acknowledge that we are different because Mrs. T. Ellen was here. Ma'am S.N. Nkosi will now read a tribute from one of her special colleagues, very close colleague, Miss K. Naidu. So Ma'am S.N. Nkosi will now read it on behalf of Ma'am Naidu.
A tribute to my beloved Ellen, resilient, wise, smart, a heart of pure gold, fun and loving are just a few words that best describe my beloved Ellen. My friendship with Ma'am Ellen started at Shallcross Primary School about 8 years ago. But in the last 4 years, our friendship grew into so much more. I feel so blessed to have to share many beautiful years of friendship with Ellen. From 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. was our alone time. If anyone at our school needed me, they will find me in her classroom. We shared so much together, and just having To go to the person after school meant so much to me. I went out all my days and challenges to tell her about my personal stories. Ellen was easygoing and a person you can share everything and anything with. Her calm nature and level-headed quality made her my go-to person. I could trust her advice because I knew it always came from a good place with no judgment. No matter the stress I felt, she always advised me to see things in a positive manner and make sure I didn't let anything get the better of me. What stood out the most and separated Ellen from the rest was the incident that took place a year ago. I was upset about something personal and burst into tears, while the natural response of her words would be to grab a tissue and hand it to me. Ellen stood up and grabbed me in her arms and had tears on her eyes, feeling my pain. That's the kind of strong bond we share. And the role she played in my life. From that day onwards, I knew our friendship was going to be family. Ellen and I shared so much out of school. We would always love to grab coffee when we finished work early and try new restaurants during the weekends. Go to painting classes, going to the spa, even went on a short holiday together, and the list goes on. She will always embrace my crazy plans and come with me and be excitement and happiness. We have so much of plans to travel and take off the things on our bucket list, but those plans were short-lived. Time spent with Ellen was always so much fun and memorable. I was truly a privilege to have the best of Ellen, and also so grateful for our special bond all together with the family too. She had so much of responsibility at home, and she gave me so much of her time and embraced me with so much of love and respect. The last outing we shared was her 50th birthday at Ocean Baskets. We had a good lunch and enjoyed our time there, but she kept on telling me, Credell, I never thought I would see 50 because I was so unwell. I had told her that she is still so young and should not think that the way life is getting. However, little did I know that would be the last date that we had as grown.
Ellen's health was not good for about a year now, and she is going for so many tests. Although number one would pick up on this because she was always so well put together. She was really struggling in silence and chose never to share too much because of her private nature, which everyone respected about her. Ellen's last words to me on the Friday before her passing, and words she had been telling me for a while, was, Credell, I don't know how I'm going to make it. I really cannot make it. The kids are so naughty. Never did see or realize a deeper meaning to this, as grade 1 in the first term is the most challenging. I really thought she would be okay and things would start getting better, and she was the most strong woman I knew with an abundance of experience in grade 1, but I guess God had his own plans for her. Although her departure will always leave a great void in my heart, and I will miss you every day in and out of school, I trust God's plan fully for her. I know God took her with open arms and welcomed you in heaven. I see you suffer in school, always saying how much you cannot take, being unwell and dealing with challenges with the kids was truly saddening. I know you're truly at peace now, enjoying all the delightful tranquility heaven has to offer you.
You will forever be in my heart. I will truly treasure all the times we spent together. And you will never forget, and I will never forget the life lessons and empathy you had for me. Thank you, Ellen, for making me a better person. We start well, my dear friend. You are loved, valued, and you'll always be remembered. I love you.
Thank you. We now call upon the principal of Tonbridge Primary, Dr. J. Naidu, who will give us a message of support.
Thank you, Program Directors. Greetings, Mrs. Dubé, Principal, Shalkas Primary, the school management team, the school governing body, staff, colleagues from neighboring schools, labor, and more especially the Ellen family. I greet you with a heavy heart, more especially on behalf of our circuit manager who's absent. He's attending the workshop. On behalf of Mr. Mtiani, I would like to pass a short message of support. From the glowing tributes that we are hearing this morning, you could see that Mrs. Ellen was well loved, was passionate about her teaching, was passionate about her learners, and she gave all, right to the last day. In fact, the last message of support from a colleague was very touching indeed. And it showed that although she had challenges, she never neglected her profession, she never neglected her learners. Her calling was in the classroom, and she was passionate about that. You know, we have many types of educators in our profession. Some just wait to get paid, just come to school to get paid. On the other hand, we get those that are really committed. And we are very unfortunate at Shalkas Primary that we had to lose such a committed teacher. And every primary school principal will tell you that the strongest educators will be in grade 1. As one of the tributes mentioned, that it's difficult to be in grade 1. And you need an experienced teacher to handle those kids, especially in term 1. Just like your grade R, term 1 is the most challenging. And she was one of the committed ones. It's difficult to replace a grade 1 educator when you lose one. But we have to groom another teacher to take that place. And Mrs. Dubé knows it will be very difficult. You know, in our Hindu scriptures, we say, when we are born, and death is a certainty, but all of us don't know when, don't know how, that our Maker will take us back. And when we leave this world, when we leave this earthly body, that little aspect that we call the soul becomes one with our Maker. And we must be so proud of Miss Ellen that she's now one with the Maker and she's not suffering. So we must thank God for that. That's one way to take away the suffering and that pain that she expressed to her colleagues. And it's so important for us as leaders to show appreciation to the staff whilst we are all at school. Although we pay this tribute to late Miss Ellen, but we as leaders need to do it with our staff. And here at Dornage, I do it on a regular basis. And even if you give them a snack or a chocolate, they feel welcome, they feel loved. Like a few weeks ago, we gave out chocolates on Valentine's Day. And Vijay, our support staff, you're so excited about it. Some of the teachers said, our spouses forgot about it. But you as a principal remember. It's so important, to show that appreciation. Because we don't know what our staff is coming to school with, what challenges. So we need to put that smile on their face as leaders. To the Ellen family, on behalf of the Department of Education, on behalf of the Burlington Circuit, on behalf of my circuit manager, our sincere condolences to you. Please, Namashivaya will guide you and bless you. The only solace we find is in prayer and meditation. So please, our humble salutations to you. Thank you.
Namaste, Vanakkam and greetings to everyone here today. Sorry, I'm in absentia of another member, so I was caught a bit off guard, so excuse me. However, I did know Ms. Ellen personally, so therefore I did come up. I met ma'am at many meetings, and when I did see what had happened and I saw missing persons, I said no. It can't be her, and we shared a good relationship, and I just want to say to her family, the staff of Shawcross Primary, to the principal, it is indeed a great loss to all of us, and may ma'am soul rest in peace. Thank you.
We are here today with full hearts and numb minds. There are no words to express the mixture of feelings that surround each person here today. Sadness for ourselves because this amazing, courageous woman is no longer here to show us how to deal with difficulties every day with her beautiful smile. You each were special people in her life. This is a sacred and special moment where we can let tears flow and let laughter heal, and where we can share stories. Ma'am T.C. Indaba, Ma'am T. Ellen's immediate supervisor, the Foundation Phase Departmental Head, will now address you.
Special greetings to the late Mem T, Ellen's family members and friends. I am Tangi Wendaba, head departmental head. I started working closely with Mem T Ellen in 2017 when I became her supervisor. She was teaching grade 1. Today we are gathered here to celebrate the life of our fallen hero, the late Mem T Ellen. 2 weeks ago, when we heard the news of her passing, I was shocked and heartbroken because I knew we had lost one of our best experienced educators in our foundation phase department, in our school as a nation. Mem T Ellen was a hard worker who was dedicated to her work. She was smart. She inspired many of us. Mem T Ellen knew her craft when it comes to her work. She always went an extra mile in her duties. I remember when I visited her class, she always said many flashcards and would tell me, "Ma'am, these flashcards are for my exceptional learners." She was able to cater to each learner's needs. She was a good listener and excelled in art. She worked diligently, always bringing positive energy towards her work. When it comes to time management, Mem T Ellen excelled. She was punctual at work and met her deadlines. She arrived 30 minutes before school starting time every day. Her learners will begin class doing a reading program that runs from 7:30 to 22:07. She was the only educator who started her reading session earlier. Educators, my foundation educators can attest to that. She was always in school earlier than other teachers. She was helpful and always available to assist in mentoring newly educators with handwriting because she had a beautiful handwriting. Her classroom was well organized, neat. Her files were also well organized. Her class was in the first row. When I conducted my class visit, I used to start with her as part of my supervision timetable schedule. One day I said to her, Can I change your name, ma'am, and start with other grade 1 educators to do class visit? She smiled and said, "No, ma'am, you can always start with me. I am always ready." She was very confident, and at the same time, Mem T Ellen was not afraid to ask if she doesn't understand something. She would come and say, "Please, ma'am, can you explain this?" It was easy to work with Mem T Ellen. She was a very kind and down-to-earth person. She was a bit reserved, but she would talk when she felt comfortable. I used to go with her to attend elocution competition for grade 1. She would talk about her time in the USA when she was an au pair. That is when I understood where her love for kids came from. Mem T Ellen was not loud. She had a very soft voice, but disciplined. She managed to instill discipline in her learners. I used to teach her class isiZulu. In her class, when I'm teaching her learners will be quiet and listen attentively. Last year, I noticed she was absent for a long time, but she came back and worked. I used to share some talkies with her. One day, when I went to her class, she called me, said, "Ndaba ma'am," because they called me Ndaba ma'am, most of them. She said, "Ndaba ma'am, I'm not well. That is why I do not want to participate or involve in many school activities as I was before." I said, "Ma'am, I understand. You need to take time off. Your health is more important." She said, "No, ma'am. It's already towards the end of the year and I have exhausted all my leave days, but I will next year." We closed for December holidays. Then in January, she didn't report, but she came back on the 22nd of January. When I was passing by her classroom, I saw her and I was happy. I said, "Compliments, ma'am." She called me. She said, "Ma'am, I'm back, but I'm not well." And then I said, "Ma'am, last year, Anna, you said you are going to take your leave." She said, "Yeah, ma'am, but not now. I will let you know if I need to take a leave." Because I said to her, we all have a new site, you can take ma'am a leave. And then I didn't know that those were the last day, because she kept on saying, "Look at my weight, I'm losing weight." And I used to say, "No, your weight is not bad, ma'am." But sometimes, if I said, "Ma'am, but take a leave," she won't. Next the thing, she would say, "No, ma'am, I will tell you if I want to." Thank you to the T. Ellen's family for allowing us to have Ma'am T. Ellen, a gem like Ma'am T. Ellen. May her soul rest, find peace in the next life. Please allow me to share this short poem, which was written by Christine Rosette. This morning I prayed because I may cry, babe. Miss me, but let me go. When I come to the end of the road, the sun has set for me. I want no rise in the gloom-filled room, where I cry for a soul set free. Miss me a little, but not for long, and not with your head bowed low. Remember the love that we once shared. Miss me, but let me go. For this is a journey we all must take, and each must go alone. It is a part of the master plan, a step on the road to home. When you are lonely and sick at heart, go to the friends you know. Laugh at all the things we used to do. Miss me, but let me go. Thank you.
We will now call upon the educators from Shawcross Primary School to come recite the Teacher's Pledge.
Can all teachers, including ex-teachers, also join in the reciting of the teacher pledge? It's at the back of your program.
I pledge to be a positive teacher, influence on my fellow educators, students,
Ngiyabonga. Washington Irving said, "There is a sacredness in tears. They are not the mark of weakness, but of power. They speak more eloquently than 10,000 tongues. They are messengers of overwhelming grief and unspeakable love. Accept your tears and expressions of loss. Accept the angels in human form who come along with a word, a hug, or a memory to share. Help each other during those times, those difficult times, the holidays, the anniversaries, the birthdays, the times when you will miss her the most." Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Essen Gobani will now pass on the vote of thanks.
Right, thank you. Thank you, program directors, Mrs. K. Naidu, Ms. Kosi, thank you. Mine is very easy, colleagues. It's to close off and thank everyone who made this day a success that it was. 15 years ago, when I first came to Shallcross Primary School, when I was also first appointed as the teacher there, I was not alone. It so happened that we were first appointed together with Mt. Ellen. We came on the first day. 15 years later, I never thought I would be standing here bidding farewell to our beloved colleague, but be it as it may, asikwazi ukwenza nini indlela uNkulunkulu okwenzile wasihlangene kanje. Ours to accept as bitter as it is, just have to swallow this pill. Colleagues, as I told you, as I said, mine is to just thank everyone, starting from our service providers who offered the services here today. First and foremost, let me appreciate the head of the house, or the head of this institution, which is Dr. Naidu. Thank you, Doctor. Doctor offered us to use this hall free of charge. So thank you so much, Doctor. We appreciate the kind gesture. Secondly, I want to appreciate and pass my sincere thanks to my colleague, Mrs. J. Naidu, together with the husband, Mrs. J. Pile, together with the husband. They did this setup. It's them who are responsible for the decor, including where you are seated, and she also did it free of charge. So thank you so much, colleague. Right, and lastly but not least, we want to thank our ex-colleagues. They are here, all of them. I see they are looking in very good shape. They took the retirement, but you can't tell that they are on retirement on this table in front of me, starting from the principal, Mr. R.M. Pillay, Siyabonga Tishomkhulu. It's Mr. Pillay and who filled our appointment forms or who signed them, when together with that of TLM. So Siyabonga Tishomkhulu kusiqasha isifoneni wafikela kuwena wasamukela ngezandla ezimhlophe. Siyabonga. Mrs. Naya, she was my HOD as well. She was there in the school when I first came, or when we first came with them. Siyabonga Mrs. Naya, thank you so much. Mrs. T. Kavenda, thank you. Mrs. G. Kavenda, thank you so much. And Mrs. I. Pillay, so Ma'am I. Pillay, thank you so much, ma'am. These are our retired colleagues. As I said, they are looking in very fine shape. You can see all of them. And also colleagues from our neighboring schools, thank you for taking time off your busy schedule, coming here. Your efforts or your presence does not go in vain. We do appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming and be with us, as we always do. We really want to appreciate you for coming. Lastly, let me thank all the program directors, both of them here behind me. Siyabonga ngosiphathela kahle uhlelo, siyabonga kakhulu. Thank you so much. Nalaba abasilungisele ama-meals la njengoba sesidla sinuka kamnandi. Thank you so much. Siyabonga. Siyabonga. I think that is what. Unless I'm... Thank you.
In closing, we have a member of the Ellen family who will share a message on behalf of the family. He is Nibeshe Naika, Ma'am T. Ellen's brother.
Good afternoon to the principal, teachers, colleagues, family and friends. My name is Thilagree and I'm the younger brother of Thilagree, or Miss T. Ellen, as she was formerly known in school. On behalf of my family, including Kubesin, Thilagree's son, who unfortunately could not be with us today, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who played a role in organizing and participating in today's memorial service honoring my sister. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all the educators who visited and supported us in our time of grief. It is evident from the tributes and words spoken today that Thilagree was a cherished, valued, and respected member of the Shellcross Primary School teaching staff, who cared about her learners and strived to instill the correct values in them at the important foundational phase of their educational journey. I would like to believe that Thilagree's memory will live on in everyone that had the pleasure of interacting with her regularly, be it at home, school, and the broader community. In this way, even though she's no longer with us, she will never be forgotten. Thank you.
Thank you to each and everyone here for spending your time and sharing with us this day. My words to the family: this too shall pass, and time heals everything. God bless you all, and have a safe journey back home.
We leave you with these words. You can shed tears that she is gone, or you can smile because she has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that she'll come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that she has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see her, or you can be full of love you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember her and only that she's gone, or you can cherish her memory and let it live on. Farewell, Ma'am T. Ellen, gone, but will forever be remembered. Thank you all once again. Ladies and gentlemen, please take note that refreshments are provided for each and every